Hey everybody, and welcome back to Tenza Motorsports. In today's video, we have our 164th BMW E46 race car that I have built to look like my real one. Pretty excited about today's content, but I do have some sad news. But before we get into that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, like if you enjoy this type of content. Also, make sure to check us out on Instagram, Tenza_Motorsports. Also, make sure to check out our second channel, Tenza Builds. We do more Hot Wheels content over on the second channel, just kind of some oddball videos, stuff that doesn't really fit with my main content, and we do some Hot Wheels content over there as well. Also, one last thing, make sure you check out our build list for the E46 race cars, the wagon and the F30 daily driver. We have them on Google Doc sheets. They are linked in our Linktree account on Instagram if you look in our bio, or if you check out our videos with corresponding cars. We should have the build list in the description. Here's the bad news about this. I had probably about 65–70% of this little build that I did here with the Hot Wheels car recorded on time lapse, and almost all of it's gone. It was all done on the GoPro, and I have no idea where the file went, and it's driving me nuts. This video would have been out a long time ago because I did debut this car on my Instagram, and a lot of people were like, hey, yeah, I want to see how you did what you did, and I had a lot of people like, well, did you buy it? So no, I built it, and I was going to have this video out a lot sooner, but I couldn't find the content. I don't know how else to go about it besides to just kind of walk you guys through what I did. It's not super complicated. It did take a while to do, but I'm going to sit down for a weekend real quick and build your own custom car. We did start with one of these. This is the car that this one is based on. Now, this car originally came with green wheels on it. As you can see, they are black. I painted them black because I didn't really like the green, but this is kind of like a before and after. Take a look underneath here, and you can see that the bottom of this car, there's a lip along that skirt, which is why you see two sheets of polystyrene. I had to use one sheet to match the edge of the lip and then put the other one on. Really simple. That's basically just a rectangle. The splitter is made by tracing the front of the car, sliding that tracing out a little bit, and then cutting it. This splitter is essentially identical to the one that's on my race car right now. So you'll just cut that out. I go just behind the front axle with it, and then the diffuser is probably the hardest part to do. What you have to do is take the bottom of the car off. You'll obviously be taking the car apart to do a build like this, and then you actually have to remove from just behind the rear axle out to the back of the car. If you look here, the M3 from the factory, that piece is actually kind of like a faux diffuser, and most of the time they're painted to color match the car, but on the CSL you can actually see where a real diffuser would sit if it had one on it. So that's probably the hardest part. The wing, the mounts actually match up to the back of the car, so you'll make an adjustment, you'll match it, you'll make an adjustment, and then once you build one, you can trace it and then just duplicate it, and then you can see here the wing is pretty self-explanatory. You've got basically a big rectangle on there, and I put the wing about the same width as the fenders, so that's equivalent to what my car is in real life. Now, the reason I was able to use an M3, thank goodness, because Hot Wheels does make an M3 and this happened to be white, is because my car in real life has a lot of M3 parts on it. And if they're not M3 parts, they're M3 spec parts. So the front bumper, the hood, the fenders, the rear fender, the rear bumper. And so where this car here is basically an M3 replica, I'm kind of able to use the M3 Hot Wheel car. So yeah, your polystyrene is probably the most important part of this. I did use vinyl to make the hood vents, the fender vents, the demon eyes, the fog lights, and then the lower fender vents to make my car look as close to mine as possible. I have been wanting to build something like this for a long time. The reason that I haven't been able to is because my car has been changing so much on the outside with all these performance mods and stuff, and so I didn't want to build a car that I was constantly going out of date or having to modify and repair. And because when you do a build like this, you really kind of only want to go in there once. It's very difficult the first time, and doing it again or changing something is even worse. Did the seats red with some caliper paint. The reason I did that is because I know the caliper paint that I use comes out to be really glossy. And then you can see the roll cage in there is white. Again, that's just done with bending some wire and glued some pieces together to make it look like a roll cage. Now the wheels, let's show the car that I got the wheels from. The wheels came from this Bugatti Vision GT. So as you can see here, the Vision GT, which is not a Hot Wheels car, is now running Hot Wheels wheels, and my car is running the Vision GT wheels. Unfortunately, my car is not a roller, so as you just saw right there, it doesn't actually roll. I'm not worried about that because it's really just for show. I'm not trying to like put it on a track or anything like that. In fact, I really don't like handling it that much because if you dropped it, you could break it. It's not fragile, but if you drop it from 5 or 6 feet, then yeah, it would be. So this is a car that I got the wheels from. It is a bit of an expensive car. I didn't buy it for the wheels. I just realized later after I owned it that the wheels were very, very similar to mine, and Hot Wheels doesn't have a set of wheels like I do in real life. So I just took these ones. If you buy this set, and I'll have everything that I talk about today will be linked in the description as best I can. If it's not the exact same product, it'll be an equivalent product, something I would personally buy if I had to do this project again. Bugatti came in a set of like 10 or 12 cars, and it was like $100, and so it ended up being basically $10 a car. So again, I didn't buy it for the wheels, but thank goodness I was able to do that. And then as you can see here, I just put some other wheels and tires on there. They do have tire lettering, which I think is kind of cool, but you can flip the tires around, so if you don't want the tire lettering, the inside of these tires are black. And then for the exciting part, this right here is another M3. This came in like the M Performance pack that came with an E39 M5, and I did want a couple of those. So I bought 2 packs, leaving one just like this. Kind of similar to why I have 2 of these ones. I have one that I can keep kind of stock, and then one I can modify, or if I mess up on the modified one, I have one backup. Same thing with this. It's kind of nice to have 2 of them. So we took the one that had the graphics that weren't as nice, because these graphics, when you go to paint a car, those graphics are a pain to replace, and I don't necessarily know how to do that, so we're going to learn. But Hot Wheels does not have a black car, and I've been looking around, I don't see another one that is black. So unless I can come across somebody who's been painting them, or another manufacturer that produces black ones, it looks like this is the car that we're going to be using to basically make a replica of the black M3 that we've been building the last couple of months. And then that means that I'll get to learn how to put all of the graphics on it, so the rear graphics and the logo and the taillights. And yeah, I'm not super excited about that. That's one of the reasons why when I saw this car in white, I'm like, perfect. I can use this. I can make it so that it looks exactly like my car, and then I don't have to do a lot of modifications that I technically don't know how to do. And 1/64 scale, it's painful enough working on a full-size race car. 1/64 scale is very frustrating. So I really apologize that I didn't have more of the build video for you guys, and I hope that me talking through this doesn't make it more confusing. Hopefully it makes it pretty straightforward, that I was able to show like the underside of the car and what materials I used. But I really appreciate everybody so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's content, hit the like button, subscribe. If you are new and you haven't subscribed already, we really appreciate all of the support, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bam!